So living in the Pacific Northwest, if you wait for better weather to go out to do photography, odds are you won't go out because it rains a lot. And today is no exception. It's rainy, it's wet, it's muddy. But I decided to go out anyway and just do some exploring. So this park is less than 10 minutes from my house. I've never been here, and it's beautiful. So I'm gonna go out and look, see what I can find to shoot, and do some exploring, and I might come away with something, and I might not. But I can guarantee you this, I'm definitely got a better chance of finding a photograph out here than I do sitting in my office. So let's see what I can find. I've said it before, but one thing that I totally love about living here is that even though it's almost December, everything's still green. We've got some fall color that's clinging on, but it stays green. The ferns, the moss dripping off the trees, it's absolutely just gorgeous. And it doesn't matter what time of year, that's always going to be the case. And so I've never been good at forest photography. I've actually been very bad at it. And I'm just going to keep trying. That's the only way to get better, is to try to find order out of the chaos and find something that just jumps out at you and just you can make a photograph of. Another thing I'm looking for today are mushrooms, because it's the right season for them, and they are all colors and shapes and sizes, and those can be really, really beautiful. And I've got some ideas that I want to do if I can find some on the trail. So the light's kind of poking out between the trees here and there. Maybe get something backlit, don't know. But again, I'm just going to keep looking and walking the trail, because if nothing else, it's definitely good for your mental health just to get out in nature and just walk the trails. And it's quiet and it's beautiful, and it's just, it feels good. So I'm kind of liking this. I don't know how well you see it, but got the trail that's leading directly into this perfectly straight evergreen, and then we've got a moss covered on this side tree and one on this side right over here, and they're both making a nice V at the top. But the problem that I don't like is the light is total crap. The sky is total white. There's no direct light or even backlighting on the tree, so it makes it it's very flat. And there's no color on the tree. All the color is behind the tree. So when looking for compositions, in forest scenes, it's a lot harder, at least for me, to decide on something or find something that really works well. Most of the time, what I find just doesn't turn out too well. So I'm probably not even going to shoot it, even though I do like the overall shape and the leading line of the path. But the light if it was backlit, I think it would be a much better shot, and that wouldn't happen probably all winter. So I will put that in my pocket and come back to it at a later date. One thing with the forest being green all the time is that it's really, really hard to find any kind of separation between anything. So everything's always in bloom. It's all, there's something always green. There's always something growing. And so it makes it for a really, really cluttered environment. And that might be me just making an excuse, because I know there are photographers out there that do a really good job. It seems like no matter what in the forest. But again, I'm going to keep trying, and I'm going to keep looking, because that's the only way you're going to improve, is to get out there and look for it. So I'm going to keep looking. So when I walked around the corner, what really attracted me to this, immediately caught my eye, was these red and yellow and orange leaves that had nothing in front of it, and it led up to this incredibly gnarly tree with looks like warts on it, with moss growing off of it, and it's just really, really cool looking. So again, I have no idea if this is going to turn out at all. If it does, I'll show it to you at the end of the video. But I had to give it a shot, because again, when something catches your eye, walk around and see if you can't make some sense of it. Why did you like it? And then accentuate what you liked and fill the frame with that. So that's what I'm going for. And I'm at like 35 millimeters, and like f11. I've tried some f5.6 to throw that background out of focus a little bit, but the problem with that is I've got some branches and stuff that are coming at me, and I've tried to move around to mitigate that as much as I can. But I wanted to make sure that there was nothing in the frame that's going to be closer to me that's going to be really out of focus. I didn't think that would look good at all. So I've got a couple of different apertures that I tried, and we'll see what they look like. So this is like the dilemma that I always have. I find something that I kind of like, but there's always a piece missing. So I love the trail and the S that it makes. See the S curve? Let me step over this way just a little bit. You can see it a little bit better. So it makes this S curve. I've got a really nice natural framing with this tree right here. And then I've got a really nice framing on the left with that. I've got a nice pop of color, but it's way up there. Where I want it is here. So if it was down here lower, the leading line with the trail would take you right into it. And so since it's not there, the photo just doesn't quite work. So it's time to keep looking. Another thing to always do is turn around, stop, and turn around, look. Because what you passed, looking in the opposite direction, could be really cool. In that case, it doesn't work either. But you never know. So it's always a good idea when you're hiking trails you haven't been on before to stop, turn around, and look, just to see if there's something you might be missing in the other direction. So as you see through all of this, it's just total chaos. There's absolutely just so much underbrush, branches, limbs, sticks, that it just doesn't work as a composition. It might be pretty to look at as you walk. And there's pops of color here and there, in the green, in the trees, but trying to find something out of all of that mess that would make a good photograph, that's hard. So I think I might have found another shot. And this is really a wide angle, and the sun is going away. I grabbed the shot before I pulled the camera out, but it was backlighting really great. The path right here, and if you see all of these, again, hopefully it's going to show up on the video, but there's these moss covered branches that are overarching, and there's numerous, and they're all separated nicely. And there's ferns on the ground down there, and I think that might work. So let me show you what it looked like on the back of the camera. So here it is, and you can see the path, and I'll show it to you on the computer if it's worth anything. So hopefully this is going to turn out. So we're going to keep on going. So I finally found some mushrooms that I kind of like, and they're really small. I was hoping to find some larger ones, but they look really nice. They got a nice little sheen to them, and they're growing out of this rotting log right here. And I've been messing with the composition a little bit, trying to perfect it. It's going to be like a 16 by 9 crop. And I am at f/16, about 70 millimeters, and I still don't quite have enough depth of field. So I'm having to focus stack. There's just no way to make it happen otherwise. So what I'm doing is I'm focusing on like this one here is further apart, and this one here, because they're all slightly different distances from the lens. And I will have to focus stack that once I get back into Photoshop. So I found one more mushroom, and I really like this one. It's a single. It's a lot larger than the ones that I had before. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer so you can see it better. So there it is right there. And I'm doing a vertical composition, and let me show you. Let me put this down so you can see what I'm doing. It looks pretty cool. So let me show you what I'm gonna do here. So I'm doing a timer. And I'm lighting the top of the mushroom with my phone. And I'm going to take another shot with no light on it. I'm going to do one more lighting it from the top. So what I'm doing is I'm going to clone in Photoshop. The only thing I'm concerned about is underneath the mushroom. So what I want to do is I want to get this light bright enough so that it lights up the underside of the mushroom. All right, so if you notice underneath the mushroom, that's the part that I'm going to use. I'm not going to use how bright it is on top, only the other part. So overall, I think it was a pretty productive day. I have no idea how the photos are going to turn out, but if they're any good, I'll show them to you right now. So I really don't think that either one of my 4 shots are that good, but it's a journey. I do like the texture in the tree and the color of the leaves in the foreground. The moss on the tree was beautiful, and I did manage to just kind of subdue that really busy background. The second shot I'm not happy with really at all. I blew the highlights in a hard way, and I tried to rescue it as best I could by overemphasizing just how bright the sun was coming through, but it was definitely a mistake on my part. Now I ended up only having to use 2 shots to do the focus stacking. There was enough depth of field that there was only the 2 mushrooms in the back that were the only ones that I had to blend in to the rest. And I absolutely love the colors, I love the way it pops, and the detail on those little mushrooms. I really like the way the iPhone light just caused the underside of the mushroom to glow. I love that little dewdrop that's on the edge that's lit, and that little stick, that little small piece of straw on top of the mushroom. And that gentle glow just really makes the photograph. If you would like to see how I created the mushroom images, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to create content that helps you guys out. That's the whole purpose of this channel, is to share my photography and what I know so that you can become a better photographer and be more productive and creative when you go out to shoot. I'm trying to grow my channel. I'd really appreciate it if you tell your friends. If you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate that. And a big thumbs up if you liked the video. Well, I'm almost back to the car. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.